Click subscribe and bell icon to get regular notifications.
I am Dr. Anand Balasubramaniam. I am consultant neurosurgeon at Yashoda Hospital. I head the department of neurosurgery here and I specialize in brain tumor surgery, movement disorder surgery, image guided surgery and minimal invasive endoscopic surgeries. Today the topic for discussion is going to be on brain tumors. All cancers are tumors, but all tumors are not cancers. Tumor means abnormal growth. The abnormal growth can be benign or malignant. Malignant is called cancerous, benign is called ordinary tumors. We may have seen people with swelling in the forehead, swelling in the arms, lumps here and there. They may be ordinary tumors, but they are all not cancers. Some of them may be cancerous. Cancerous means they destroy the tissue locally and they have the ability to spread into distant places also. Then they are called cancers. Only growth of tissue in the local area without destruction is just a benign tumor. So all tumors are not cancers. So one need not be afraid if they have a tumor that it is cancerous. It has to be checked to rule out cancer. Any tumor in the brain is a space occupying lesion. That means it occupies space within the brain, thereby it increases the pressure inside the head, so it can produce progressively worsening headaches. The headaches can get severe over a period of time. They may have early morning headaches. It may result in vomiting, blurring of vision, and this may produce relief of headache once the vomiting is done. These patients also may have dysfunction of the nerves from which the brain tumor is arising or it is pressing. For example, if it is pressing on the nerve involving movement of the hand or leg, there may be weakness of the hands or legs. If the tumor is pressing upon the nerve that is producing, say, hearing, or it is producing movement of the face, they may have weakness of movement of the face or they may not be able to hear well. So like this, there could be what is called as neurological deficit, that means lack of function of movement of any part of the body, or there could be raised intracranial pressure features like headache, vomiting, blurring of vision, or some of them can present with seizures, what is called as fits. So this can irritate the nerves of the brain and produce fits. So all these can be indications that something is wrong with the brain and nerve cells, and they will require a scanning or imaging to rule out a brain tumor. Brain tumors, all of them do not have a proper cause or etiology. Some of them can be genetic, some of them run in families, some of them can be caused by radiation exposure, and some of them the cause is not known. To be honest, most of the tumors the cause is not known. A few of them run in families like neurofibromatosis. So that can run in families. There are some tumor producing syndromes that can be genetic. However, most of the tumors, majority of the brain tumors are what is called sporadic or spontaneous, and they do not have any genetic or hereditary basis. They can appear in children or in adults spontaneously without any particular reason. Now, once brain tumor is diagnosed, which normally is diagnosed using a scan, which is either a CT scan or currently the advanced imaging technique called MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. So this diagnoses for us with certainty that there is a tumor inside the brain. Now, once this has been diagnosed, there are multiple options for treatment. First, based upon the location and characteristic it shows on the scan, we may make a very decent guess that it looks benign or it is likely to be cancerous, that is malignant. If it is a benign tumor and if it is a small tumor, size not more than 3 centimeters, nowadays there are non-surgical treatments that are available to prevent it from growing further. That is called radiosurgery. This means that we give focused amounts of radiation very specific to the margins of the tumor without radiating the surrounding normal brain or neural structures. So this technology is called radiosurgery. You might have heard of Gamma knife, X knife, Cyber knife. These are all various machines with which we can deliver the radiosurgery technique. So this is called stereotactic radiosurgery or stereotactic radiotherapy, based upon in how many settings the radiation is given. So this is considered a non-surgical form of treatment, and this can be done without any cut of the patient with a knife. With this, the tumors may even disappear or may remain under control for a long period of time without growing. Sometimes tumors which are benign can be observed over a period of time if they are very small. All tumors may not require surgery and all tumors may not require radiation. As we know, the pandemic of COVID-19 has affected all the people all over the world and in all walks of life. So even people who have got brain tumors have got affected because of this. One of the reasons in which they are affected is they are not able to get timely treatment, because in the initial period of lockdown, we were not doing elective surgeries. So only emergency patients were being treated. So once there is a delay in treatment, these tumors may tend to grow and the patient may become more symptomatic before we are able to operate on the patient. Secondly, malignant tumors which require radiotherapy and chemotherapy should not have a gap in the treatment. If that happens, then the tumor can spread and become even resistant to the treatment that is being offered. Most of these patients do not have treatment available locally, and they have to travel large distances to come to major cities, bigger institutions to get the treatment done. Because of their inability to travel, lack of transportation, and the situation of lockdown, some of them may be denied the ideal treatment that has to be given for these disastrous tumors. So yes, COVID-19 does affect these patients. However, if you have access to a good hospital setup, we are treating all malignant patients, all cancerous patients without any delay, irrespective of COVID-19 status, so that they don't get disrupted in their road to recovery. Seizures is a common phenomenon. All our brains have a nature to seize, to produce epilepsy or fits, because it's all electrical activity. But all of us have well controlled brain and nervous system, so all of us do not have an epilepsy or a fit. But anybody who undergoes a surgery, or anybody who undergoes a trauma to the head, or anybody who has a problem with the brain, like a circulation, or there is a tumor in the brain, can have irritation of the nerve cells and produce seizures. And these seizures are usually easily controlled with medication, and they have to be continued even after the surgery is done. When we do surgery and when we operate on the brain, the scar tissue that forms also can contribute to seizures. So this has to be controlled with medication for at least an extended period of time, varying between 6 months to 2 years, to control the seizures. Once the seizures are well controlled and there have been no further episodes of seizures, then patient may stop the anticonvulsant or anti-seizure medication. Physiotherapy in the form of exercises for that parts of the body which has been affected because of the tumor or because of the surgery for tumor. For example, if they have paralysis of the hand or the leg or of the face, because of weakness of the nerves that are injured during surgery or by the tumor, can recover well with good rehabilitation care and physiotherapy. So post-operative rehabilitation and physiotherapy is a must in all brain tumor patients, especially if they have focal neurological dysfunction or deficits. Brain tumor surgery recovery, it takes hardly a few days. Nowadays, surgery is done and the very next day, patient should be conscious, alert, able to eat his own food and able to go to the toilet and take care of their own activities. And the moment they are discharged and sent back home, which normally happens within a week of the operation, they should be able to take care of their daily needs and activities at home. And normal activity as in joining work and duty can resume as early as possible, as early as maybe even 2 or 3 weeks after the operation is over. Regular follow-ups are needed by imaging and can be done even through teleconsultation during this COVID-19 period. and all that is needed is a CT scan or MRI, which can be obtained in any part of the country as of today, and even the images can be shared over teleconsultation, and we can assess the wellness of the patient by a video call or a teleconsultation. So yes, follow-up is definitely possible with COVID-19 patients. So do not ignore a regular follow-up even if you have to stay at home. The doctors are definitely accessible through teleconsultation. The course of treatment always involves removing the abnormal tissue or controlling the abnormal tissue with radiation, providing least harm to the cells surrounding. But if the tumor happens to be present very close to very important nerve structures, definitely they are at a risk of getting damaged. While operating, we take care not to damage the surrounding nerves by using various techniques like intraoperative monitoring with electrophysiological guidance, mapping. We use fluorescence technology to differentiate tumor from normal brain. We use intraoperative imaging with ultrasound or MRI to make sure that we have removed only the tumor and not damaged the normal tissue. So normal tissue surrounding the brain in which the tumor is buried is definitely at risk of undergoing any harm with surgery or with radiation. To prevent that, good imaging, good monitoring is both required, and good knowledge by the handling surgeon or radiation therapist to limit the damage to the surrounding structures is very essential. Even if some damage does happen because of minimal trauma, they can be reversed easily with good rehabilitation and physiotherapy, thereby maintaining a good quality of life for all these patients. So brain tumors are not to be afraid of. Thankfully, they are not the common tumors in the body. Of all the tumors in the body, brain tumors form only 1 or 2% of tumors. However, those patients who do get brain tumors, it's not the end of the road for them. Modern technology is advanced so well that they can be treated safely, effectively, and the patient can continue to have a prolonged good quality of life, longer progression-free survival, and improved overall survival by timely treatment, regular follow-ups, and having detailed discussions with the doctor regarding the prognosis of the disease. So brain tumor is something which you have to be aware of, which you have to check that you don't have. One thing that we can do to limit our exposure to external radiation as much as possible, especially with mobile phones usage, there could be a risk of brain tumors. So though it has not been proven or it has been shown in studies, however, limiting our exposure to radiation, limiting our exposure to cell phone talk, the use of radio longer than usual should be avoided so that we can prevent ourselves from damaging our brain cells. So brain tumor can be treated. Please be aware of brain tumors and don't be afraid of it. And please follow up regularly if you have a tumor and if you have got treated, to make sure that you stay safe and stay healthy for longer.